Here we are. This is the third episode of the fourth season of My Hero Academia called Boy Meets ... Well, he already knows Uraraka, so maybe we're finally going to meet the mysterious girl from the opening and the closing that it seems like this season is going to focus on. And I did actually look at the opening and closing again, and I realized she's too young to be the exchange student that we met, or at least I think she is. So I was wrong on that. We'll see who she really is.
Agencies. Now that I
But
have
all those
my
pictures were for the
provisional
internships.
Things will be different than they were in my scouted by famous pro heroes who are always on the lookout for new
Boom,
talent.
boom, boom. Get excited.
Encouraged by Mirio Togata,
You can get
a
scouted.
member of UA's Big Three, I decided
You need to do one important thing at this
He's
meeting.
not funny.
Make him laugh. Then he'll totally approve.
he wants to laugh.
That tickle machine
I can
kind of
do
weirds me
that.
out, I'm not going to lie.
In order to become the number one.
The tickle machine probably wouldn't weird me out so much if it wasn't also currently being used on like a really sexualized character design. It's the two things combined that kind of weird me out.
This a joke to you?
He pushes
no,
up his
I guess
glasses
not.
like Gendo.
You attempted this bladders long. From the Silver
Oh,
Age
he's
on,
like
they
a
were
super
point
All Might
aids.
fanboy. It's not that they're...
These
Oh,
days, even unlicensed merchandise manages to have the correct.
okay, so he's not... They didn't have a falling out. He's just really obsessed with All Might, and I guess it kind of creeps him out. Maybe that's what's going on. Or maybe they did have a falling out, and it wasn't mutual. Like, this guy's still obsessed with All Might.
Wrinkles in the correct era.
It's never on sale for the public.
The poster!
I want it!
Ugh!
There's no
Restricted
other way to put
merch!
it. This man is definitely a serious. His face looks slightly different
Oh,
from normal.
Izuku's
after.
showing his fanboy. He's gonna out
That
fanboy this
smile,
fanboy.
Those narrowed eyes. That's the look I chose to impersonate earlier. I'm sure that's why the fans don't talk about it.
It's a
much, but I
boring
really
save
like
if
it
there's
for
no
some
villain.
reason.
Wow.
Honestly, I think the best part of the whole thing is the witty response he gave.
Honestly, though, it seems to me from how they've covered All Might's early career that a lot of his early fame was due to actions where he just saved people with no villains involved, like that from accidents and stuff.
Or wait, I bet.
Mirio's a good guy. He lets her out of there.
An underclassman at my school.
It's just lucky that Nighteye is a super All Might fan.
Interesting.
But if I worry about what everyone else is doing, I'll never be number one.
Ooh, Midoriya. He has the right philosophy. Boom! Oh no,
I think you missed.
he missed it.
Become my agency. This
Aha.
office currently runs smoothly with 2
Ah.
sidekicks and 1 work-study student already under my employ. To those who lived in fear of criminals. That's
All Might
why
is
the
so
people were
corny,
happy
though.
to acknowledge him. You have 3 minutes to try and take this seal from me. If you
Ooh.
want to work as a hero under my guidance, then
How would you
stamp
do it
that
if you weren't
contract
a
yourself.
fast hero, though?
Wait, what?
You really are his golden boy.
Whoa, wait a minute. Sir Nighteye asked for Mirio specifically. Is that because he also sensed that Mirio could actually be All Might's successor, just like All Might maybe thought and Principal Nezu thought? I don't know. There's something special about Mirio, though. Like, as they said, he's not great in his class, but he's considered the top student at UA anyways. And it's not just because of his quirk. So why did Nighteye want him in particular? Is it just because he reminds him of All Might, maybe?
Must be nice.
Oh. Up against Sir's quirk, the odds are grim.
Ooh,
It's gonna
it's
be
his
basically
quirk.
impossible to snatch that stamp, or even get.
Just come and get it.
Don't concern yourself with what happens to the room. That's
No, it's no time to strategize.
that's tricky.
I've just got to get that seal.
Jump attack to no avail. I can see everything.
I knew it.
Oh,
Still,
his
maybe
quirk is
if I
some
just
sort
keep
of
trying, move.
premonition based. He's so
1 minute
intimidating.
passes,
He's just a scrawny
backs
dude,
up
but he's so
briefly,
intimidating.
And appears.
Sir Nighteye, his quirk, foresight.
Dude.
After touching someone and locking eyes with them, he has the power for the next hour to see the choices that person will make. It's like he knows their every
What?
move.
The activation requirements are secret.
Okay, so this is interesting. This actually, he was about to say something actually.
It doesn't matter how many different moves I.
Okay, so he said the activation requirement is secret. This is so important. So this links up with Shinso from the sports festival. I really like Shinso as a character. I like his character design. I like his quirk. The problem with Shinso is that once you know how his quirk is activated, it's useless, right? Once the opponent knows that you have to talk to him for him to activate it, it's useless. So when Shinso becomes a pro hero, how likely is it that he'll be able to keep that secret? Because once it's out, everybody knows, right? That's how the media works. So he will only be effective as a pro hero until somebody finds out. You have to talk to him. And some of the students already knew that. So I was kind of worried about that because I'm like, your quirk's basically useless if your enemy has enough knowledge about you. And Sir Nighteye is the same way. So it seems like quirks that allow you to affect someone else's mental state usually have some sort of special way for you to activate it, because otherwise they're too powerful, right? The author's not going to put that kind of quirk into the show because it's boring. So with Shinso, you have to answer his question. You have to answer a question at least once, and then he can mind control you. With Nighteye, he has to touch you and lock eyes with you. Two things. So he has to have physical contact with you and look into your eyes. So for combat purposes, it might not always be the best power, since, like, is a villain going to let you touch them and look at them to activate it? But once you do, you know everything they're going to do, which admittedly won't always cause you to be able to have victory. You might just not have the tools available to win, even if you know what the enemy is going to do. This is interesting. I really like this, and I'm liking Sir Nighteye even more now that I know that this is his power.
Try.
All Might chose wrong after all. I was saying that last episode. I think he screwed up. Yeah, Midoriya is good, but Mirio has the same outlook as Midoriya, plus a great quirk. I don't know.
Running to inherit One for All. Does he know that?
Maybe.
How did Nighteye and All Might choose
Well, he
him?
probably doesn't.
Or does All Might even know about any of this? And if so, why didn't he tell me before? Remember the words he said that day.
Young man, you too can become a
You
hero.
too can become
I
a
can
hero.
give you my abilities. Take the torch.
Take the
I
torch.
have to keep fighting.
Man, this show's so good.
I'll go beyond, so he can't react. Not after everything
Ah.
All Might and I have been through. I'm going
Trust in
to
his
take
choice.
that stamp from you.
Gran Torino style. But you're a mere shadow of the original.
Midoriya's had several teachers
For the
now
next
that he can
hour,
copy.
Provided the conditions are met. I certainly must have taught you better than that.
All Might's
Fear
been a
and
kind of
indecision are
terrible teacher,
luxuries
though,
a
to be
top-tier
honest.
hero cannot afford. Wherever you go.
Does he have to
He
actually
can
be able to
what
see
I'll
you?
do wherever I go. Why did he word it that time to test my
That's
theory?
right. He can't know what
Scatter objects
what
at
will
random.
happen.
If I'm his sole target, then
His
foresight
quirk
won't be able
targets
to
the
reach them.
person, not the objects.
Nighteye, my successor!
Nope.
That doesn't alter what I see.
Not yet!
Nope.
I'm not...
What happened?
I realized I was about to step on the poster for All Might's 10th anniversary as a hero. The one that was never for sale.
Don't tell me. He was in constant motion, jumping as Gran Torino would.
He missed
And
all
yet
of
he
the
still
merch.
managed to avoid every image of All Might in the room? Patience. He formulated a strategy to defeat me and remained aware
This
of
guy's a
his surroundings.
psychological warrior.
And you are well.
I don't understand. I didn't do either.
He
of the
did say
things
you
asked
wouldn't
me
have
to.
the contract
I told you to
or
take
the
the seal
seal.
from me and stamp the contract yourself, but I didn't say you'd be Ralph.
Adults are constantly
Symbol of
lying
peace
to
is gone,
students in this
and
show.
people are looking not for a dim light, but a dazzling one.
I'm All Might's chosen successor.
Oh
Sir
man,
Nighteye doesn't accept that.
this is actually really harsher than I thought it was. Nighteye still thinks that All Might made the wrong choice, and he wants to prove that to Midoriya. So Midoriya will go ahead and pass on the power to Mirio. I don't know. That doesn't sit right. He hasn't had his time with it. He just got the power a year ago. Not even a year ago.
For an unsettling dynamic.
That's
Even so,
an understatement.
I look forward to working with you.
Had enough interns, so his
I liked this dynamic of Bakugo and Todoroki now becoming kind of closer because they're in the remedial group. I wonder how that's going to go. I mean, they're insanely powerful and two of the better characters in the show. Even though I really disliked Bakugo at first, that fight at the end of last season between him and Midoriya kind of broke my heart a little bit. Like when he broke down and said he was worried he's the reason that All Might basically lost the power. It's very touching. It lets you see a little bit of what Bakugo's going through or seeing.
agency is a no-go.
From one of them.
Oh?
Hawks has invited you to work with him in Kyushu.
Who's that?
Way! Dude, he's the #3 hero.
What?
Awesome. Whoa, good
Oh,
job.
okay. Hold up. This is good. I've been wanting to get the full... I want at least to know the top 10 heroes out there. And I'm guessing this guy's #3 now. Like, Endeavor's now #1. The one that can become, like, paper thin, I think was #2. I think. So that would make this guy #3. He's got wings, clearly. I want to see all the top 10.
Oh, what do you say? You've got your own big 3 summons from Hado. You can track him down sometime tomorrow or whatever. That's all for now.
Hamajiki? That's crazy.
So the teachers talk about the big 3 like they're really important, but they're just final year students. They're really good students. It's odd that the teachers give them so much respect and or leeway. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's something going on there or if it's just like kind of a thing in Japanese schools that I'm unaware of. Weird that it's Asui and Ochako.
Considering the timing, it could be
Right now.
I don't think I can wait either. Let's go with them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We've really
Man, I'm so
This
jealous of
ongoing
those
joke's
guys.
pretty funny.
I'll just have to work harder.
Just get stuck running errands and doing paperwork all
Mineta,
day.
that shot is so lecherous.
Internship, huh?
Don't remind me of my disgraceful past!
Although I do think I'm forgetting her actual name right now. Her hero name's Pinky. I love her character. She's very confident, has like a fun attitude. Probably still not into Mineta though.
Tomorrow. I start tomorrow.
But we do know he made contact with the League of Villains recently.
The League of Villains.
Getting involved, Midoriya. Also, her design, it kind of reminds me of Ochako's a little bit. Like it has the same leg shape, that weird leg armor that Ochako has. The author must like that design.
Unfortunately, we don't have solid
Post-credit scene. There she is, Mystery Girl. I thought she would show up in this episode. Why does Overhaul want her? Oh, he happened to be there?
Oh, I'm sorry. And just like that, my work study
Ooh,
Let's go home, Mary.
Mary.
had begun.
Here's the...
So, interesting. So you meet somebody who looks like they really don't want to go with the person who says they're related or whatever. So, at my actual job, I've received some training on what to do in case of potential human trafficking, but I don't think Midoriya is going to know what to do here. He's going to have to report in and get direction, I think. So, we shall see. I actually really kind of dislike the practice in anime to do after credits scenes because I feel like it makes it easy for viewers to miss something important. Like if I started the next episode and I hadn't seen that scene where he meets her, I'd be very confused. Now, in My Hero Academia, they're probably going to repeat that scene next episode, but still. I am glad we met her. Seems the Yakuza are using her for something. Unsure what. Probably having to do with your quirk since that's what this show's based on. And we know All For One was using people for their quirks. That's why he stole one of the Pussycats, because he wanted her surveillance ability. So, that was a good episode. You can't have action every episode, but as far as information goes, I was very intrigued by Nighteye, and I'm happy to get more.